You're not surprised, are you? 2-1's the final score. Sabres get a bad break, certainly, from the video goal judge. But the Flyers really suffocated the Sabres in the third period. They won both games on home ice, and it's going to be an uphill climb for the Sabres from here as the Flyers come to Buffalo with 2 games in their pocket, Mike.
Yeah, I got to tell you, Brian, I've always tried to give the National Hockey League the benefit of the doubt. I guess because it's been my whole life, and that's where I have been my whole life. But I got to tell you, I'm at the end of my rope. I mean, this is it, baby. They're on their own from here on out. Join us on the hotline. We've got some serious stuff to show you. Here it comes.
As you are aware, the video goal judges have been instructed to review every goal and establish telephone contact with the penalty box following each goal.
Every goal except that one.
I hope. I'm trying to think, the NHL's worst nightmare thing that would be for Philadelphia to win tonight by 1 goal. And I'm just trying to think what type of spin they could possibly put on this, and if they'll counter Dick, well, we just played for you. Where do you go with this?
What do you say?
The only game shown in the National Hockey League, the only game, every person that follows hockey in the world they have no choice but to watch this game tonight, and there is my alma mater, but that's the NHL. What are these people doing?
What was the great line?
How could you miss that?
What was the famous line by George Goebel? Was it, the Sabres are a black tuxedo and the whole world's a pair of brown shoes? Yeah. Let's go to Philadelphia and hear from Craig Ramsay, the Flyers head coach, following the 2-1 win over the Sabres.
Majority of the period, I thought.
Like Boucher really came through in the third period. He was under a lot of pressure.
He found some pucks through screens that point shots. We lost some draws, and he really came up with some key saves again.
How did Chris Terry's play tonight, playing with a bad shoulder?
I thought he was wonderful, and he was really good. He had a great stick, even bad shoulder or not, but he was really alert. In the third period late there, Bundy had a great stick. He picked off a couple passes, and he won a bunch of battles down low. Good shoulder, bad shoulder. He really paid the price tonight.
How much Chris Terry did you see tonight? 50%, 60%?
Well, he told me he was pretty good, so I don't know.
Have you seen much line matching up in the first few games? I think Lindy's trying to match you guys.
Well, I think he wants to Pekka against Primo's line, but we're not afraid of I don't know that we're afraid of anything, so we just try to roll them and let everybody have a chance to play. And with the power plays and penalty killing, obviously those guys get extra ice time, but we're so real confident in all our lines. So Manderville's line gave another one of those wonderful shifts that kind of got some momentum for us. I thought White's line was excellent again tonight, and the other 2 lines are doing a bang-up job as we would expect.
You almost got it.
Welcome back to the Labatt Hockey Hotline. This is a nightmare, isn't it?
Oh, it's an adventure, my friend. Anyways, looking at the game also, Philadelphia came on like a freight train in the third period, really finished up strong. So there's nothing wrong with the play of Philadelphia tonight. Buffalo came out and played a great first period, started falling asleep in the second. Then when that goal was scored, they woke up, played hard for the rest of the second, and Philadelphia just took the game over.
All right, let's talk about what the Sabres can do to regroup here. I mean, I'm sure this will be a very angry hockey club when we get more post-game reaction.
Yeah, I think that'll just take care of it. Coming home, I'm sure the fans will be looking forward to that first home game. And I'll tell you, it's going to be wild and woolly. Should really be an adventure there, too.
All right, let's hear from Danny Gare in Philadelphia with Alexei Zhitnik. Danny, let's talk it up.
Well, you know, a difficult loss here, but I think the unfortunate thing was that the non-goal was certainly an issue and will be an issue for quite some time again. But, Alex, let's talk a little bit about the game. A better game tonight, but still no results here, going back home down 2.
I think definitely play much better compared to first game. We got forecheck going. I think we skated pretty good. We create enough chances to win higher game, but we just didn't capitalize it.
Alexei, one of the other things that this hockey club has to prepare for in the next 2 home games, obviously, is the power play that this Philadelphia team has been putting on against you. Penalty killing has to become better, and you have to maybe be a little more disciplined also.
Yeah, it's a kind of I think tough situation. You know, sometimes you get breaks, sometimes you don't. They got definitely pretty good power play, really good personnel in there. You just have to stick together, be patient, stay out of the penalty box, don't take unnecessary penalties. And I think we got to score, we got to get offense going no matter what.
Lindy Ruff had you with Rhett Warner tonight. He changed up the combinations in the back end. How did you feel about that?
I think during season we play a kind of mix. I play almost with everybody, so it's not really big down play for me. I was pretty comfortable with Red.
Alex, thanks for your time.
Yeah, no problem.
Alexei Zhitnik, guys, who played quite a bit of ice time tonight, or had a lot of ice time, I should say, but losing 2-1 here in a game that was a bit of a circus atmosphere at times with that non-goal, but that was a goal. And this team really has to, you know, it's unfortunate, but they have to look at going back home down 2 and get prepared for that next 3rd game, which is a crucial game in this series.
Danny, we saw Darcy Regeer's reaction as he was actually up with the video goal judges. I know we'll be hearing from Lindy Ruff shortly.
Right.
But overall, the Sabres' emotions coming off the ice in this one.
Well, they're very upset. There are a lot of them as they came off, and you can't blame them for that. You know, the point is that they felt they probably were cheated here a little bit, but that's over with now. You've got to look and prepare for the next game, and that's the only thing I think you got to talk about. You can be upset, you can be ticked off, but right now they're down 2 to this hockey club, and that's what's in the books, and you have to look to the critical game 3 again here.
I guess, Dan, you know, just getting away from the goal, you know, they have to be upset about that, but they also have to be a little upset the fact Philadelphia came out and played like a freight train in the 3rd period. That's 2 games in a row where Philly really finished up strong.
Well, that's something that I think a concern with the coaching staff and maybe the players also, because last night's game they were tied 2-2 going into the 3rd. Right. They had some momentum going tonight. They're tied 1-1. They get a power play opportunity early in the 3rd period, and they don't you know, take advantage of it. And this is something that you have to give Philadelphia credit. They're rolling 4 lines. They're very on top of it. And I'll tell you, this crowd was nuts in here tonight.
Danny, special teams again. Both markers for the Flyers, power play goals. That's the story.
Well, it has been the story, and it was something that I think everybody talked about prior to the game. Or prior to this series, they talked about, you know, obviously the goaltending setup, and I think Boucher has certainly, you know, come up and played strong. But special teams will always come in postseason play, and the difference here has been the Sabres' fact that they're not scoring on power plays, and the Flyers have, and that's been a nemesis of the Sabres all season long. It hasn't been that way for this Philadelphia team. So, you know, they're looking here with their, you know, I'm sure their heads down leaving here from Philadelphia, but folks back home, they need a lot of help and support to get them pumped up again for that 3rd game.
All right, Dan, we're looking forward to Sunday. We'll see you when you get home.
All right, guys.
All right, Danny Gear in Philadelphia. Final count 2-1. A lot of controversy. Your phone calls, more post-game reaction. We'll show it to you when we come back on the Labatt Hockey Hotline. Please stay with us. Still waiting on Lindy Ruff to address the media in Philadelphia. So let's show you the highlights real quick. And Mike, first period, the kind of period Buffalo needs to play. They're much more physical, and it made all the difference in the world.
This was just a terrific period for Buffalo. They came out and completely controlled the first period. Zhitnik was hitting players all over. Everybody, they were all taking turns. Everything was clicking for them. There's a great hit right there by Zhitnik. He took a couple guys down, and well, we'll see right here as they work the puck.
Now watch. There's the big wind-up. It's deflected over the net. We've talked about this for years. Or just get it to the net, and here it is. Woolley, a snapshot. He gets it in. Shatan puts it in. Get it deep.
Yeah, it's really effective when you get it through, as long as you have a guy going to the net, and that's what happened. Now watch, he gets a little Gilmore move here. Spinorama, everybody goes by him. Then he waits and waits. He looks for the man to go in front, and sure enough, it's Chatin. He's sniffing around the front of the net, and he knew the shot would be coming through. But that's a great play by Chatin also, because he went to the net, and Woolley held on to the puck until he was finally there, and he gave it to him.
Sabres killing a penalty, and they have an opportunity. Ward comes in here, and that one's stopped by Boucher.
Yeah, I thought he was going to score. I thought that was a good move because he faked the shot and held and had the goaltender down and just couldn't find the twine.
Let's go to the second period, and the Flyers, no surprise here. They're going to go after Hasek, and behind the net, it's going to be Keith Jones to try to get Hasek off his game, and maybe they accomplish something here.
That's an important part of their game, and they're effective at it, and they've been doing it for a long time. And once again, they're doing it tonight, and that's the way they play. They're going to crash the net and crash the goaltender. You know that before the game starts, and sure enough, he just laid him out in spades here.
All right, so the Flyers go on a power play, and John LeClair is going to let one go from long range. At first, you're going, boy, Hasek stops that. I mean, how does it? Right, so you're going, that's a soft goal, and then about 3-4 minutes later, here they come, start tying up the twine, and you're going,
yeah, well, don't worry about it.
This couldn't have happened.
Yeah, but this isn't going to count anyways because it didn't go in. It hit the side of the net because that goes upstairs, and the goal judges or the video judges, they get to look at it. They replay every goal to make sure it's a good goal. So obviously that goal doesn't count, right? I mean, how could you miss it? You're watching the replay of the goal. It's impossible. You can't miss it. You know, if your eyesight's bad, you're still going to see it.
You know, every goal is reviewable, by the way. So says the league. Then Hasek's frustrated. He's going to get a penalty here. Primo must have tapped him 4 times after the whistle tonight.
Yeah, well, you know what? And you can't get on Primo or the Flyers. They're very effective at that, and good for them. They went out and did what they had to do.
No doubt about it. And
give another little jab right here.
Well, tap in, but you know what? He's thinking about it.
Now, Dominic's very lucky right here. He didn't get a 10-minute misconduct for showing up the referee. I mean, you can't throw your glove down. You can't do that. But right now, he has to have him thinking a little bit. That's about the 58th time he got tapped and hit and kicked and pushed on, so he snapped.
All right, third period. It's a 1-1 game, and as you said, the NHL's worst nightmare. If the Flyers win this by 1 goal, it's a power play, and it's Desjardins with the big shot, Mike.
Yeah, it really was a big shot, and Buffalo played this very, very poorly. Just let it go right here. Stop it. I mean, here's the shooter right here. He's going to have so much time. You don't see anyone in around here. Somebody should have been pressing him a little bit. Let it go, Tommy. And he had all the time in the world to step into the puck. That's so important that you're not standing still. If you can take a stride into the puck, you're probably going to get another 25, 30 miles an hour on the shot. And there's the win right there. Boucher is now 2 wins. My friends, not bad for a rookie goaltender. Anybody want to look at it, and if you can't get enough shots on him, good quality shots, you're not going to find out how good he is.
All right, the Flyers win this one 2-1. They are up 2 games to none coming back to Buffalo. Yes, sir.
By the way, the NHL is going to address this, I would take it, right? At a press conference after?
They're writing a memo right now.
Okay, they're working on the spin and how are they going to work? Okay.
It'll be a statement.
I mean, they are going to have a press conference. You can.
I think they're working on a memo.
Wouldn't they want the whole world to know about this and explain it since the whole world's watching tonight?
No. Let's go to Tom. Before we take any calls, maybe we should just put that little disclaimer out there. No profanity, please. Tom in Rochester, how you doing?
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm hyperventilating. I've been breathing into a freaking paper bag for 10 minutes. I mean, anyways, I am just completely fed up. I know we lost the game. I know you got to be somewhat objective because you're in the press. Mike, I appreciate you being honest because enough is enough. You know, I think the name of the league now is the NRL League, No Review League. I mean,
hey, Tommy.
It went in through the just hear me out because this is really important. If I wasn't so angry, I would send my ticket to New York City, but I want to come Sunday night like a true fan that I am, and I want to ventilate. And please, Sabres, don't be ripping posters down. You know, we just want to ventilate. We just want to, you know, tell our side of it, you know. And I'm not crying. I don't care about Super Bowls. I don't care about last year. There's no excuse for that. And did you see those guys looking at Darcy Regier like they were like stone-faced?
What are they going to do?
You know, and Darcy, thank you very much for at least, you know, representing me, the fan. And anyways, maybe I'll turn into a Sharks fan or something. It might be a lot less painful. But there it is.
They don't know where to look here, Tom.
God bless them. God bless them.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm just sickened, Mike. I don't know what to say, and there's nothing to say. I mean, it's just, are we really surprised? And did this league even try to even the game up? I mean, even though that's schmucky too that they do that, they knew darn well that they screwed up. I was looking for 2 or 3 penalties against the other team, but nope. And a little shot to the head to Verada there at the end. That was blatant. I didn't see it, but I'm done. Send me the bill. Thank you very much.
Tom on the couch.
That's a lot of gas.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have Lindy Russ postgame press conference.
Boy, the hot three, and it's getting hotter by the minute. McGillis, Philadelphia, tough guy from start to finish. Boy, he played hard tonight. Defenseman for Philadelphia, Mark Recchi was all over the ice. Made a lot of terrific plays, especially on the Desjardins goal, keeping the puck in. And Stu Barnes, it just all out. He did everything he could. There you have the 3 stars. Let's move on to the number 1 star tonight.
The Flyers, well, we're getting there. John D'Amico is going to be talking to the media momentarily. 2-1 is the final score, and 2-0. The Flyers lead the series as it comes back to Buffalo. Michael,
wouldn't you use that as a catalyst to just play out of your mind on Sunday? The fans ought to be so riled up on Sunday, and the players should be just pound the living daylights out of them.
Want to take a phone call? Let's go to Al in Buffalo. Hi, Al.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Go ahead, Al.
Good.
Fire away.
I don't want to dwell on the terrible officiating because it's common knowledge that Buffalo never gets a breaks, okay?
Go ahead.
The problem is no one on this team is getting dirty, okay? They're taking the easy way out. No one's going hard to the net. Why do they go hard to the net with a minute left and they're down by a goal? Why don't they do that for 3 periods? Now, Roby, correct me if I'm wrong here.
Yep.
It used to be when the Sabres were on the road, 3rd period, the game is tied. Who swaggered in and took that game? Who picked it up?
Always
and won that
Buffalo.
Game?
These games are tailor-made for Buffalo right now, Al.
Betcha.
They always play well in the 3rd game, won those third period, and always won those games.
That was always
right.
Where we wanted them.
But the
Now
one
we're
thing,
not
Al, till you
finishing
go to
off.
the net, you draw a lot of penalties also. That's another good thing about going to the net. I mean, if you want to go there hard enough.
Philadelphia is loaded with a bunch of hotheads.
Yeah.
You get on them, you get under their skin, you'll be on the power play all night.
Reverse the charges on them, that's all.
That's it.
And you're talking about...
Okay, Al, thanks.
Thanks. You try to get on that defense, and Buffalo's really not able to get down low.
They do
on
it at
them.
times. They do it at times, and then they back off, and then it's not enough. I mean, it's so effective. When you forecheck hard against Philadelphia, drive them crazy. They're defensive. They can't move back there. They're just too. They get clumsy. They bang into one another.
Let's go to the Sabres locker room, and we'll hear from Josh Morrow.
In the Sabres locker room with Michael Pekka.
Michael, your view on the goal that LeClair scored. I mean, how?
Well, we're told from the league we can't comment on things like that, so that's your story to write.
How disappointing is it to come out of here without a win at all?
Well, it's disappointing. Obviously, you'd like to have a split as a worst-case scenario, but we're down 2-0, and as everybody knows, momentum shifts happen quite often in the playoffs, and we're going home, and we still feel really good about our chances. We controlled that game tonight. Obviously the first one wasn't in, but some loophole in the protocol for goals, I guess, in the video replay, but. It's been an uphill battle for us, it seems, for eternity, and it's obviously not going to change, and we just got to battle through it.
Both of these games came down to the 3rd period. You just talk about that. Certainly you had more jump tonight than you did last night.
Yeah, we did, and we created a lot more. Obviously, that power play goal is a bit of a backbreaker, and it seemed to be going uphill again. And but we got to score more goals. That's the bottom line. We control play. We hit them, skate them, and we just got to outscore them.
Again, the power play. They get one in the 3rd period that broke your back. How disheartening was that one for you?
Well, it's hard, especially we had control a couple times and weren't able to get it down the ice. And those are the sort of things that happen when you get away with it once, but not twice.
You talked about testing Boucher, and you didn't do it enough yesterday, but you did today. Was he maybe the difference besides the obvious the goal problem?
Well, I don't know. I think we had a lot of great chances. Rebounds were there for us. You got to give him credit. He has made some terrific saves at key times, and but I think we just got to continue to go hard. I think there's a couple lines right now that just haven't found their niche offensively, and it's going to come. We still feel really good. The tempo's there, the work ethic's there, and it's just hard when you seem to be battling alternative elements.
So you can't criticize the officials, but can you at least talk about what you saw?
Well, we didn't see anything at first. We saw the puck in the net, and if it goes in the side of the net, which it clearly did, then somebody's got to be doing their job. Somebody's earning a paycheck to work in a video replay booth, and there's got to be a call made down. I don't know why it wasn't, but it's unfortunate for that sort of thing to happen.
All right, Michael Pekka's comments following the 2-1 Flyers victory. Back to the phones. Let's go to Joe in Amherst. Joe, go ahead. Joe.
Yeah, how you doing, guys?
Good, Joe. What's cooking?
Well, we could dwell on this. I mean, it's ridiculous with the officiating. It's out of control. But there's a few things, guys. We've known for 4 or 5 years we've needed a power play point specialist. Alex Zhitnik is horrible. Horrible. The problem right now with the Sabres, they can't get the puck out of their own end. The headmanning, they're either icing the puck or their transition game is non-existent. And guys, I'm going to tell you, for the 7 games that he's played this year, Jean-Luc Grandpierre is our best defenseman. He's the most mobile.
He played well tonight.
Brian, he's played well in the 6 games he played. What is Jason Howland ever doing up? I mean, Grandpierre is their best defenseman. And, James Patrick, I think the long season's caught up to him. He looks like he's 87 years old. And a few other things. Guys, they're just not handling the puck in the neutral ice area.
Exactly where we were going to go, Joe.
They're not.
We talked about it before the game. They're not making good decisions with it. They're getting caught on their heels. Every time they come out, the Flyers they're playing a better trap than New Jersey ever did.
Joe, and another thing, too, about Grandpierre, with Grandpierre in the lineup, what he brings is a little bit of strength and toughness, I think, in front of the net. He can be physical. He's a big guy, and he's very, very strong, and he's capable of moving some people out in front of the net. So, although it didn't look like it tonight, they really crashed the net with ease, as a matter of fact, in the first 2 games. But he does bring that touch of toughness.
Well, playoff experience? None. He gets in there tonight, emergency
Well, he's playing within
situation.
himself. He's usually running around like his head's cut off. Tonight, he's just stay within yourself, play a simple game, and he'll be fine.
Still waiting on Lindy Ruff. I imagine he's waiting for the smoke to clear. We'll be back in just a bit on the Labatt Hockey Hour. All right, John D'Amico is going to be coming down, the supervisor of officials for this particular series, and he'll have a statement. I don't know if he's going to take questions. Last year, the NHL totally blew it by dreaming up this memo, and it was, it was a mistake. It happened. We're sorry. All they can do here, there is nothing they can do to get away with this other than saying we made an egregious error. We are extremely sorry. Anything else is complete stupidity.
Yeah, I can deal with that a lot better as long as my intelligence isn't slapped around. So I hope they deal with it that way, and I think it'd be easier to swallow, to be honest with you, than if they just come out and tap dance and put a spin on it.
And speaking of intelligence, a guy with a lot of it's here now, Mike DeGeorge, an Empire Sports Report update.
Okay, quickly, folks, because we don't want to waste a lot of time. We know there's a lot happening out in Philadelphia. Coming up tonight at 11 o'clock on the Phillips Empire Sports Report, we'll have a complete wrap-up of the Sabres-Flyers game. We'll get you ready with the Bills draft coming up tomorrow. They make some moves just before draft day. We'll have that, and we'll have the Calder Cup highlights from Rochester and Syracuse, all coming up tonight at 11 o'clock on the Phillips Empire Sports Report. Brian and Michael?
Oh, Mike.
There's no way the NHL is going to come out and just apologize, say, yeah, you know what, we made a mistake. No way that's going to happen.
Oh, they've got to. I mean, this one's as black and white as it gets.
Didn't somebody a long time ago call this a garage league?
John D'Amico's a pretty upright guy. He just might... he might come out and just do.
Well, you saw the video there when Darcy was in arguing after the period. He just turned his back.
He didn't know where to look.
There's nothing to say because he knows they blew it. He knows they blew it, and the game should actually be going on right now. It should be the start of overtime, and it should be 1-1. And you're absolutely right. If they don't come out and say, you know what, we blew it, we made a mistake, we cost
How about the official up there? Did you see the look at him?
Didn't even want to look.
That poor guy.
This guy is white as a ghost.
Look at John D'Amico there to the left. Just Darcy, just leave. We know you're right. We know your point. Just get out of there. Going to be interesting. Going to be interesting Sunday night back here for Game 3. The crowd reaction and everything else.
That's great.
All right, sir.
Okay.
We'll be looking forward to you at 11 o'clock.
Okay.
I know you're going to have a lot of great stuff coming up. All right, let's take a quick phone call. We're still waiting for, again, the Sabres.
Waiting a long time.
John D'Amico is at the podium right now. This ought to be interesting. Let's go.
Folks, my name's Jamie Horn. I'm with the NHL Communications Division. John D'Amico's here, supervisor. He's going to make a brief statement and answer any questions you have on the situation.
D apostrophe capital A M I C O.
And I'll distribute copies of the statement.
Okay, gentlemen and ladies, apologize. Following the goal scored by Philadelphia, John LeClair at 4:53 the second period, supervisor, myself, John D'Amico, along with video goal judge Mike Condon, commenced to immediately review to determine if the goal was a good goal. Two different camera angles were utilized to replay the regular game action angle and the overhead angle camera angle. The first angle showed that the puck appeared to enter the net between the goaltender Dominic Hasek's pad and the left goal post. The second angle, overhead, showed the puck appeared to enter the net off the left goal post to go in. As such, the determination was made that the series supervisor and the video goal judge that this was a good goal. Also to note that the referees believed this was also a good goal. The puck was dropped and play resumed. Approximately 5 minutes later, play time had elapsed when it was pointed out to the video goal judge that the ESPN NetCam replay showed that the puck appeared to enter the net on the outside of the left post through the mesh. This camera angle is not available to the video replay booth. The series supervisor then reviewed the overhead angle again, and it again appeared apparently when the support and the net cam angle that the puck entered the net from the outside post. The NHL video replay procedure do not allow for the decisions to reverse after the ruling has been made, and as such the goal was allowed to stand. It should also be noted that the net was checked prior to the game and in between the periods by the officials, and there was no holds there. Are there any questions you would like to ask? I'd be more than happy to answer them for you.
Okay, so just getting the sequence.
I just have to, try to make it one at a time. Or
go ahead, Barry.
John, just getting the sequence then correct. If you had the ability to have the ESP cam confirm the second replay immediately, then you might have made the decision to disallow the goal?
You're right.
Okay, so once you had that information, you had already determined it was a goal, and the procedure does not allow you to reverse it despite the new information.
You're right.
Okay.
You're right.
John, does the first two views that you saw in your mind clearly show the puck crossing the goal line?
Well, it crosses the goal line. It goes into the net. We see the.
It goes in the net, but did you see it and determine that it crossed the goal line?
Yeah, it went off the post, the very first one, off the post by the pad of Dominic Hasek, and entered the net.
And are you saying that subsequently replays show that it did not cross the goal line?
No, no.
No, so you're saying from the beginning and through all replays, including ESPN's, it was a good goal?
ESPN showed that the inside cam that we've seen 5 minutes later, found out 5 minutes later, that it came in from the side of the net.
From the outside?
Outside of the mesh, right.
Wait, hold on one second. Al, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Last year in Buffalo, we were led to believe that you have access to any camera angle.
That's a good question. There's certain reviews, there's certain cameras like the first game, and whether it was in this game or not. Also, there was 5 different cameras. Like in the first game, there was ESPN2, there was Comcast, there was CBC, there was RDS. Now we supposedly, hopefully, it comes all off of one feed, and this is what we, that's what we get. Whatever feed we get is supposedly the main feed. if different TVs, if different television people have different cameras that we don't have, then we can't review something that we don't see.
Comcast was the feed you were getting.
Yes.
Did you have? We were seeing ESPN in the press box. Why wasn't this also being shown?
That's a good question. Our main feed was Comcast. From what I understand, the main feed was Comcast.
Well, John, do you need a better way to look at these different angles, or do you need to change rules so that goals can get more time?
I don't think you need as much time as you want. A goal is a very serious thing, whether it's a good goal or whether it's not a good goal. The thing is, you want to have the proper angle. The overhead angle sometimes shows a good shot. Sometimes a camera from ice level shows a better shot. You know what I mean? Depending on what you're looking for and what you're looking at.
Is this camera used all the time? Was there any question about whether it should? Was there any question before this camera is just standard?
The inside camera you're talking about?
You mean
I think with the cam, the inside cam, that was used tonight because I guess ESPN, but the first game it wasn't used. Now why it wasn't used, I'm going to be very frank with you, I don't know that.
The net cam's not a standard.
It's on a national game. This is the ESPN national.
This is being aired live in Buffalo right now. What would you say to the fans in Buffalo?
The same thing I just what I just read to you.
Yeah, we're just.
Is this a formal apology?
No, this is a statement about this. This particular goal. It's nothing more than that. Let's keep the questions to this particular goal, please.
Why wouldn't it be standard operating procedure to use, if there's a national telecast that has the most camera angles, to use those cameras?
Whatever the video goal judge is, whatever goes into the video goal judge, the technician, whatever the technician can bring up for the video goal judge, that's exactly what he's going to review it on.
So how did you get the replay to look at?
We made the decision after watching this particular thing 3 times, and in the meantime, we felt that the goal should stand. That now, to be very frank with you, that we had a knock on the door, and someone had told, I don't know who the gentleman was, but someone told the video replay Mike Condon that the inside cam, ESPN inside cam, shows the puck entering the net through the outside of the net from the post. And we thought, well, wait a minute now. What did we miss, or what? This is a very serious thing. So sure enough, we had looked at it over again and over again, and sure enough, that we found out that yes, it did.
How did you get that feed at that point? How do you get the ESPN feed then sent to you?
Because it was on television. They had it on tape.
Rich?
Did you subsequently call down to have them repair the hole in it, and did you get it described how big it was?
I don't know how big the hole was. I didn't call downstairs because there was a lot of confusion. Would I have called downstairs? Yes, I would have, to ask the officials to go over. But at that particular time, there was a timeout, if you can recall, the first timeout. And whether Hasek went over to one of the referees or one of the linesmen to look at it, sure enough, they looked at it and they felt that it should have been repaired. Now, there's a lot of action in and around the nets that it could have been very easily by somebody's skate slicing the mesh. You know what I mean? The velocity of the shot, I really couldn't tell you. But they repaired it as soon as it was brought to their attention. Do they repair the nets? Yes, they do all the time. Now the thing is, they repair them, or they check them the beginning of each period and the end of the period. So you know what I mean? Nobody is putting holes in the net.
Back here.
You had one replay that was given to you from local feed, and then until afterwards, when all of a sudden the second angle came available to you, that you saw there was a problem with the goal.
We looked at the goal, the review, the overhead, and an ice level camera also and turned around, and we determined that the puck entered the net properly in between the post and his pad. We found out 5 minutes later from the inside cam that the puck had entered the net from the side of the mesh. No, exactly.
So how do you now prevent this from happening again? I mean, it obviously seems like it's something that's more in this playoff game, in this playoff series, perhaps.
Well, just hopefully that every angle that we possibly can get in each city, that we're going to go back to Buffalo, and the amount of TV stations that are covering the game, that we'd be able to get as many angles as we possibly can to rectify whether it's a goal or not.
Rich?
From your experience, can a hard shot do this, or is it usually something else?
Beg your pardon?
Can a hard shot tear net usually, or is it usually escape?
No, I've seen a hard shot. Yeah, I've seen a hard shot go through the net. Yeah, very much so. Very much so. The velocity of the shot, the spin of the puck, the mesh is new, you know what I mean? The nylon, is it possible? Yeah, very much possible. Does it happen a lot? No, it doesn't. You know, but apparently there was a slice on the mesh, and then that's why the linesman went and repaired it.
Is there somebody who expects that kind of thing before the game?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Somebody who expects that kind of thing, like a meeting, official, or
What, check the nets?
Yeah.
They check the nets after each period.
Last question.
Thanks, gentlemen. Did you hear the cell phone ringing through the whole thing? It's Gary Bettman. Hey, how you doing? Everything all right? How was the game tonight? Get off! Quick!
You see this hook, big hook come out.
Oh, come on. We're sorry. We made a mistake.
Oh.
Is it that hard?
Look, here's the thing right here, Brian. I'm going to tell you what.
Act.
Look, they said, well, we had over the catwalk, we're looking down, and the puck definitely went in the net. That's all. Isn't that what he said? He said it was very noticeable. Off the post and in, the puck went in. Jim Kelly asked, oh, yes, over the line, everything. All right. Will you let us see it so we can make that decision? Don't you think the NHL, under this situation, and they're so sure that that's their way out, wouldn't you want the whole world to know that, yeah, you know something, if that's all they really had to look at was that one
There
angle,
was a game,
they were right then. That's all they had.
There was a
I want to
game
see it
in
myself.
this regular season where there was an in-house feed. At the time, it was Marine Midland Arena, where the in-house feed showed that there was a goal, that the shots they had. So you know what? It's not even forgivable then. It's understandable. But in the playoffs, after the train wreck of last year, do you think they would get this right? I mean, this is moronic.
No, they came to the door. There was a knock on the door, right? And they opened it up, and the guy said, "You're fired!"
We'll be right back. Oh, man. Welcome back to the Labatt Hockey Hotline. The Philadelphia Flyers winners in a controversial game over the Sabres. 2-1 the final score. 2-0 Flyers lead this series. Told you we'd have Lindy Ruff coming up for you. Well, we lied. He's too upset to talk about it. So's Darcy Regier. They're on the bus already. A comment from Dixon Ward, however, on what happened on the controversial goal.
I saw it go. I saw the puck shot. I saw Dom's pad right against the post. I can't figure out how the puck went in. So I'm looking around. I don't know how the puck went in. Right? So I come to the bench and go, I have no idea how could that puck go in. Dom says my pad was on the post. Before we could even do anything, the puck's dropped. And then they're looking at the replay, and then they find out it was no goal. But you can't say anything. The referee, what do you want me to do about it? What do you want me to do about it?
So right afterwards, you and Dom both thought that it was no
goal.
goal.
I went right down to the net and looked at on the side of the net to see where the hole was, and we found it. It's a huge hole in the side of the net where the puck went through.
This stuff has to be getting tiresome. I mean,
it's embarrassing is what it is. I mean, obviously we can't comment on it because we've been dictated that we're not allowed to say anything. Smile and promote the game, and what a wonderful game it is, and what a wonderful job everyone does.
Did you guys know?
It's frustrating. You know, it's frustrating because what a great hockey game it was, you know, and regardless of the outcome, it has to be marred by something stupid again.
So you get to the bench, and you're sure it's not in. What's the reaction on the bench? What does Lindy say?
We're trying to get someone's attention, but the referees say we can't do anything about it now. Too tough luck. So we asked, what's the protocol? They said it's as soon as the puck's dropped. Doesn't matter. So what can you do? Nothing you can do, right?
The difficult part is getting someone's attention before they drop the puck.
Well, you can't get anybody's attention because they won't talk to you. So what are you supposed to do?
Dixon, after Game 6, they said, you know, we review every goal. And how do you? They're going to attempt to explain this.
So we believe them, right? That's what they tell us we're supposed to do. And it's too bad. It's too bad.
Dix, how do you climb out of this hole now? Down 2-0.
Well, we don't. We just play. 2-0. It's a battle. That's all it is. 2 tight games. I mean, either one could have went both ways. And obviously, we got to know we can't do anything in the third period because we're going to take a penalty and we're going to get scored on. So we're going to have to have to be extremely careful in the third period. Both games were decided the same way, and be extremely disciplined at that time of the game. And got to get the puck in the net early in the game. I think that's the key.
Dixon Ward following a 2-1 loss to the Flyers, both games, 1-goal defeats for Buffalo. Mike, let's go back real quickly to the press conference. John D'Amico, he's a good guy. He's had a great career as a linesman for so many years.
Sure is. Yep.
These guys get thrown to the wolves by the league.
Lewis, him.
It was an embarrassment.
Yeah, I don't know why. You know, who makes the final decisions here? I mean, this is an extraordinary, important press conference.
But who's in terms of public relations for this league? I mean, we said it before. All they have to say is, we made a big mistake. There's nothing we can do about it now. We're sorry.
Well, I want to see that overhead look that they looked at and say, hey, the puck definitely went in. Well, will you let me make that decision also?
All right, we're up against the clock. We're going to take a quick timeout.
And the fans?
Right back.
And the whole world that watched tonight?
We'll be right back. I guess the thing that's so disconcerting about all of this, if at any stretch of the imagination that this could have been inconclusive, the video goal judges have the opportunity to buzz or ring downstairs and take a look at this.
And that's what he said. He thought it was inconclusive, but I mean, then it's not a goal, is it?
No.
I mean, wouldn't you want to really, at that point, really check things out?
I mean, after last year, nothing beyond a reasonable doubt. You take the time to look at it. Let's go to Tim in Seattle, Washington. Tim, how you doing?
Hi, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
Okay.
I can't say what I think about the NHL because Hockey Hotline is a family show. I would like to give positive comments to Craig Ramsay. You got to give him credit for having his team trap up real hard in the third period, and Buffalo couldn't get any breakouts at all. Not very. They got a few maybe, but not very good. And that whole specter at the beginning of the series, about the speedy Buffalo forwards forechecking a slow-footed Philadelphia defense. You know, he's coached that out pretty well too. You haven't been seeing that. It's kind of a bunch of baloney right now. So they got to do something different. And it leads to another point. Let's not dump and chase on the power play. You're going to have to bring it in and set up.
Okay, all right, Tim. Let's comment on a couple of these things.
Well, Ramsay, I highest regard for him. I just think he's the best hockey man, maybe the best hockey mind in the business. I like him a lot and have a great deal of respect for him as a coach. So you're not going to catch the grass doesn't grow under his feet.
All right, let's not lose sight of the fact the Flyers won this hockey game. Controversy, yes, but they were able to get the power play goal in the third period that secured a 2-1 victory for them. But of course, all anybody's talking about tonight is the controversial goal.
I was on the bench, so I didn't see, how the puck got in, and but obviously Dominic had everything covered. He said he got the inside post, and he didn't understand himself how did it get in. And then 5 minutes later, somebody called down on the bench and said that ESPN is showing that puck went in through the outside, and I'm just wondering how come there is no rule for this. How come there is, how come this can be changed? Physically, it wasn't a goal, so how come it counts? It's just not understandable for me.
Miro, is there any explanation that could be satisfactory to you?
Obviously, under these rules, we lost the game, so it's it's disappointing, and we obviously wanted to win one game, at least one game here, and right now we put ourselves to the tougher situation, and we have lots of work in front of us.
What is your level of frustration now, though, when you go through it?
It's time now for the report card, and I guess we're going to have to put a new category in there for video goal judges, but it's not there as of right now. We'll change the rules.
We'll give the goaltending a solid A, the defensive B. The forwards need more goal production and much better forechecking. Really get after those Philadelphia defensemen, and the effort was a B.
Would you like to give the off-ice officials a grade?
I already have.
Flyers beat the Sabres tonight, final score of 2-1. Plenty of controversy to speak of. Let's get more from the Sabres locker room with Josh Morrow.
Any explanation of what happened that could be satisfactory to you guys?
No, we can't. It's over, but I was just saying these are new rules and things that go on with upstairs, and it's supposed to be bulletproof, and obviously, again, it's not bulletproof.
How do you guys get out of this 2-0 hole now? What do you need to change?
Well, we thought we played pretty well tonight. We just go home and play the same way, but we got to score more than one goal.
Those the last 2 games, it has been the power play at the crucial time, the third period. They take advantage of it to help. How much of a backbreaker has that been for you guys?
Well, obviously, it's the outcome of the game, so that has been a backbreaker. And it goes the same for our power play. We got to pick that up, and when it's a crucial time of the game, we got to make sure we score.
What did you see? And on the goal. I mean, did you see the play happen? Did you see the
Not
replay?
really. We're at the far end.
Yeah.
It was at the opposite end, so it was tough. Plus, he's on the opposite side of us.
The replay. Did you see the replay?
Didn't see the replay.
You were just told from upstairs that.
Yeah. What happened?
When did you find that out?
Probably about 3 minutes after, or 2 minutes after.
Was there any buzz after it happened?
Yeah. Well, it's disappointing. Obviously, again, this is all supposed before the puck is dropped. It's supposed to be. The situation is supposed to be a goal or not a goal. We have the NHL referees have a goal judge up there look at every goal. How he missed this one, there's another. Who knows what happened.
Then did you guys kind of have an idea though right after it happened?
Okay, we're short on time. We're going to take a quick break. Come right back. Okay, we have Colin Campbell on the line, the Director of Operations, Senior VP with the NHL. He's in the Toronto office. Colin, your take on the situation in Philadelphia tonight, please, sir.
Well, you never like it when this happens in the playoffs, but it was a tough call, obviously, after all said and done. And we've had a couple of similar instances this year over the 1,100 games where after we reviewed it, we couldn't tell if it went in. That's when we reviewed it. But here, there was no thought that it should be reviewed by the people in the review booth until they were alerted by the in-net camera from, I think it was ESPN people, that this may have been a goal. And obviously, after further review, it sure looked like it was a goal. I'm sorry, a non-goal. And the 3 replays that were available, the original one, the overhead that they looked at, and another replay, I think from the Comcast feed, did not alert them that there was anything wrong with this. And I think the only guy in the ice that thought there was something wrong with the scene was Dominic Hasek. And when you look at him again on the replay, he wondered how it could get by him.
Colin, I guess the big question everybody's wondering is why the differences in the various camera feeds that are there, and that this situation at this stage of the season is not that you have every conceivable angle possible.
Well, we try to have every angle possible. We're not allowed. The video booth upstairs does not control the in-net cameras. That's a TV truck, a camera, and they only see it upstairs when it's shown, and it wasn't shown on this one here until later on. There's feeds. There's an overhead feed that they're supplied with that they look at every time. And there's the normal replay that you show, your whether it's Empire, whether it's Comcast, whether it's ESPN, that they show, and that's what they're afforded. They're not afforded the in-net camera that alerted everyone when they showed that.
Hey, Colin,
yeah.
Mike, and this is a good opportunity here. Let's really get this cleared up, because there's a lot of people. This place is going to be ready to hang someone around Western New York, especially last year and this year. Everybody's just flying, and for people feel a lot of good reasons. So this will give us a good opportunity here, I think, to deal with this and kind of put a little bit of a lid on it anyways. So I'm glad you're on.
That's why I called.
Good, and I'm glad you're on, and good for you that you called. You did the right thing, and I'm happy you did this. Now, the replay that John looked at, he felt it was what? Still inconclusive? The overhead shot from up above. Is that correct?
No, from my conversation. Now you understand. I'm not sitting with John. I've talked to him on the phone, and he's been at. When I talked to him, Darcy was in there, and but the conversation I had with John was the 3 replays they looked at did not. If it had alerted them, Mike, they would have phoned down and said stop play.
Right.
And if the bench probably had thought there was any reason that it wasn't a goal, they probably would have called the timeout. I think you guys seen that done before. Hey, let's call a timeout, right, because the referees can't stop it all the time unless they think there's a problem. Then, as you know, you've seen it. So the 3 replays didn't show that it was inconclusive, didn't show anything, or they would have called for more time, not just 50 seconds.
I think then what's really important is that then the public will have an opportunity to look and let them make a decision. And it's a great opportunity for the NHL also to validate this whole situation, saying, here, public, you can look at it, and it's as plain as can be. It looked like the puck might have went.
One thing I've asked John to do, and they did it, I said, you guys tape the 3 replays that you were afforded to watch, so everyone can watch what you watched, not looking for that, but just looking at the replays you watched to think, is something going to jump out at me here that this wasn't a goal?
Colin, let me just ask you this. Throughout the course of the regular season, the playoffs, the most, 99% of the time, the most conclusive angle that's available is the overhead shot from the catwalk. Is that not correct?
Right.
Why is
they have that one too, Mike.
Okay, but why is that one not available all the time, at all games? Because if you're seeing it upstairs, that should be seen. And I think that's
to my knowledge, Mike, it is available. The overhead shot. We have overhead cameras in every building. We have cameras set up in every building.
Okay.
They have what they have is they have the overhead feed, and then they have regular replay, whatever feed is going into that, into the TV booth. And we try in every building. I remember last year, fighting with ESPN or the rink in Denver, I said, you guys got to get all the feeds into the room here, so we have all the feeds of every possible situation so we can see as much as we can see in here before they've dropped the puck. We can't say between every goal, slow it down, we need 2 or 3 minutes to look at every possible feed. You try and look at every possible feed in there before the puck's dropped. And obviously, if there's any question, you do call down. They do call down if there's any question. And this one, I watched it again, trying to see, well, would something alert me or alert anyone that this should be looked at again? Now, you'd say, well, LeClair let a booming shot go one time. Holy cow, how did it ever slip under there? But nothing alerted us that maybe did it hit his glove and go over in the air and he pulled it out. That would alert you, but you would never think, or you didn't think that, gee, it went through the mesh. It's not supposed to go through the mesh.
I guess, Colin, what's important then at this point for the National Hockey League, for the sanity of the fans, at least for them, I mean, you have to understand, what they, the pain that they're going through right now, it is just horrendous.
I've had 2 conversations with Darcy, and he's upset, and he should be upset. And every Buffalo fan should be upset. You think we wanted this to happen? That's the last thing you wanted to happen. You want a game to end because one team played better than the other team, and they won the game, not because based upon a controversial goal that was a non-goal that the team should win. But You know, and you guys are right. John D'Amico's a good man, and they tried to do the right thing, and we tried to follow the right procedures up there.
And Colin, we're sitting here. I mean, our heart's bleeding for the guy because we know he's kind of out there on an island. But I guess the big thing isn't the simplest thing to say. A mistake was made. It's obvious, and we're sorry. And I think people can live with that. I mean, we appreciate your phone call, but isn't that? I mean,
no, but I mean, but is it what you're looking for that
it's not going to change? It's not going to change anything.
No,
obviously.
no, but you want to say someone screwed up. I don't want to say someone screwed up there because they looked at every possible thing they could look up there, and they don't. They have 50 seconds. You understand it? Like if you were put in this booth, you have 50 seconds to determine whether it was a good goal, and every time a goal is scored, obviously it's reviewed.
At this stage of the season, then, would you change the time element and make darn sure?
Well,
I mean, isn't it possible that you'd have to say, well, maybe we need more time to take care of the situation?
Well, it's a first time this has happened where something like this has happened that I can recall. I don't know if you guys can recall it.
Well, there was the goal last year in the Colorado-Dallas series, right, with the mesh
white,
inside the post.
The white, right, and they reviewed it. They reviewed it.
Well, Colin, listen, just a final question here. What we want to, Dougie Gilmour brought up a good point when he said, and really, they thought it was bulletproof. And I'm sure the NHL thought it was bulletproof too. But it looks like it's not bulletproof now. So I guess it's important at this point that it's corrected. I mean, is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean,
now, what's your suggestion to
I don't know what the suggestion is. I mean,
right. And don't think that we won't look at try to bulletproof it. Just
Colin, possibly, and I don't know what the exact solution is, but it's got to be better coordination in terms of in-house feeds, what network's showing the game. I mean,
did you guys show the in-net? Are you like did you show the game?
No, when we picked it up,
we showed the game, but the in-net goal was not shown until later.
When the goal was scored, I thought the same as everybody else. I started jumping on Hassey. Said, "How in the hell did someone blow that by him from out there?" I mean, that's not. I've never seen him let such a rotten goal in.
Well, why would? Okay, and I'm not being defensive here. I just wondered the question: why would you guys not show the in-net feed right away?
I have no idea. I don't know. Maybe we don't have it.
And you know what? I don't think ESPN showed the in-net feed right away after that goal. One feed I saw in one, we had a couple of feeds on. The one feed I saw in the Canadian one was they showed LeClair himself what a great torque he had in his shot. They didn't even show the puck going in on the second feed.
But if you ask for a solution, one thing I would say is that all year long, whenever there are disputed goals, we sit and cry out, show the overhead from the catwalk. It's more 99% of the time the most definitive shot. And
they have it in the video room,
right,
Mike.
But that's not shown. That's not shown to the fans, and I think that's
what. Well, I don't. I guess that's up to each station. Like does Empire have that feed? Like
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. I guess
you're allowed. I don't know what whether you put your own camera there, or you're allowed to take that feed. I think you can put your own camera in there. ESPN, they can put their own cameras in there. They can take the feed. I don't know what each company's policy is as far as getting that feed. No one's stopping them. They got cameras all around the rink, so they're allowed.
I think what's important too, as long as the public for sure they have an opportunity to see this overhead shot in the next day or anyways, and I think that would be extremely important and salve the wound somewhat.
Did you not see the overhead shot?
No,
never.
Oh, because they showed it on one of the feeds.
No,
they showed it on the Canadian feed. I saw it on the Canadian feed.
No, we did not see it. Well,
I think what's important, guys, too, is for the public to see the three feeds that John D'Amico and the other individual in the replay booth saw in that 50 seconds.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. And you know what? That's going to give the league credibility. It'll give everybody an opportunity then to see what they had a look at. And so, you know, you have more belief in what they've seen. There's just more credibility there than just leaving it there and you kind of, well, okay, I guess that's what he saw. I mean, there has to be more than that for the fans, I guess, so was what I'm saying.
Clearly you're frustrated. The fans here are frustrated. I mean, we love this sport. It's wonderful. And this is great theater. There's nothing like the Stanley Cup playoffs. And to have it tainted like this,
no,
it's got to drive you nuts.
We sat there in the office last night from 7 till 1:30, quarter to 2 in the morning, watching all the games. Tonight we said, hey, this is going to be a great break. We get to watch one game. What can possibly go wrong?
Of course, only one game. Colin, sir, we really appreciate your taking the time to call.
I'm sorry the game ended the way it did for the Buffalo fans. It's not right, and it's very unfortunate, and we certainly don't feel good about it.
Well, you know what you did tonight, Colin? It's Mike. You just did the NHL a favor with this phone call. And
well, you guys
helps
care.
a lot.
I watch all year.
The call was wrong. There's a lot of wrong here, but you know, it's nice of you to call at least face the music and deal with it a little bit, and that's good enough for me for now. Everyone's still upset. Everybody wants everyone's throat in the National Hockey League right now in the front office up there. So I don't know what you have to do, but there's going to be a lot of heads rolling around here in the next 2 or 3 days, so good luck.
Colin Campbell, we really appreciate the call, sir.
Oh, thanks, Mike.
All right.
Ryan, take care.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye.
All right, Colin Campbell giving us a shout there. Obviously, it doesn't change anything, but to deal with it, I don't know if it leaves a better taste in your mouth, but at least it's being dealt with.
I want to see the overhead shot.
All right,
I want to see what they had to look at to make a decision.
All right, we got to take a timeout. Sabres lose to the Flyers 2-1 the final score. Flyers up 2-0 in the series. We'll be right back on the Labatt Hockey Hotline. We just heard from Colin Campbell gave us a ring following the press conference by John D'Amico in Philadelphia. And I think as we're listening to all these comments, we'll hear more from John D'Amico in just a second. I think the thing that's got to happen here, Mike, is in some way, shape, or form, there has got to be a sense of uniformity in terms of the camera angles that are made available to video goal judges. And if it's certain teams don't want to pay the freight to have a certain camera there, then the league has to step in, but there has got to be uniformity from arena to arena, and especially at this stage of the season, there's got to be every conceivable angle available to the people that make these decisions. I mean, it's...
And you know what? The NHL probably sat there for God knows how long to figure it. Now, this will be bulletproof, right? There's no way. I don't want to deal with this situation. You must have everything covered. Let's have another meeting and figure this, make sure there's no loopholes. And you know what? They found another loophole. So it's...
All right,
but anyways, it was good. It was good of Campbell to call it. At least he threw us a bone. Makes the fans feel a little better.
It's not like tough. That's just the way it is.
Here's stupid. This was the thing, and leave it at that. I feel a little better now.
All right, let's hear from John D'Amico. He is the supervisor of officials for the league for this series, Buffalo-Philadelphia, and he did hold a press conference following the contest. Let's hear from John D'Amico.
Second angle, overhead showed the puck appear to enter the net off the left goal post to go in. As such, the determination was made that the series supervisor and the video goal judge that this was a good goal. Also to note that the referees believed this was also a good goal. The puck was dropped and play resumed. Approximately 5 minutes later, play time had elapsed when it was pointed out to the video goal judge that the ESPN NetCam replay showed that the puck appeared to enter the net on the outside of the left post through the mesh. This camera angle is not available to the video replay booth.
And therein lies the rub. That camera angle was not available to the video judges.
I'm going to tell you, I want to go on record right now. I'm going to tell you one thing about John D'Amico. I would put my life, anything for him. This guy is such an honorable guy, with such a creditable referee. I mean, I have to believe what he's seeing is what he's seeing. I know it turned out as a mistake.
You looked when Regier was barking at them. What are you going to say?
He had nothing to say. He knew. He knew. The other guy knew.
I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. All right, let's get a bunch of phone calls in. Obviously, we're staying on with you late tonight following this contest. Let's go to Orono, Maine, is it? Dave?
Yeah, it's Orono, Maine.
Hi, Dave. How are you, sir?
How are you guys doing?
Go ahead, Dave.
Ahead.
Listen, we could yell about this all night, but the fact is that it's 2-0, so we've got to kind of move on.
Exactly.
And here's my question. The defense, all in all, playing really strong. We got Zhitnik came out of nowhere tonight. Schmelik's playing as well as he has in a while. And God bless Grand Pierre for stepping up. But what do we do about James Patrick? To me, he played a horrible game tonight, and he was bad last night too. So is there something we can do?
You're on the mark there. He has struggled mightily.
Yeah, and he hasn't done that all year, Dave. Actually, most of the games he was their best defense, but things were really going south for this team. So I don't know. He's starting to just slow down and get trapped out of position. I think he has to use his experience. He's been around long enough where if he's a little peaked under the gill on a certain night, then you just use your head and play smart and put people on angles, and he should rely on his experience.
Chuck in Hamburg's next. Chuck, go ahead.
Yeah, fellas, I'd like to address a couple of strategies with Ruff during the game. Lorenz was on there during the game saying that Primo was owning Mike Pekka. We've got Breton here for face-offs. Why didn't he switch? There's no reason for him not to when things aren't going well. And also, I'd like to know, with 1:33 left in the game, we've got the puck in their zone. We're hammering him. And he's got Hasek still in the crease. Where's the sixth man? Should have put him in there earlier.
Yeah, that's always the gray area. And the rule of thumb, I guess, is a minute to go. I don't disagree with you. If you've got a face-off in their zone,
it's still ticklish at the time. Was it minute 33? I mean, we get another 6 calls and say it was the right thing to do, and 6 calls is bad.
It's worth considering.
That's a call on Lindy Russ's part. Whether it's right or wrong, he's got to make that call and do what he thinks is best, and that's what he felt was the right call. I'd pull him out quite that early.
Okay, we've heard from John D'Amico. We've heard from Colin Campbell. The phone lines are lit up. We're going to take a quick break. We're staying with you till 11:30. We'll come right back with more of your phone calls on the Labatt Hockey Hotline.